I love, strange things like Repulsion and The Tenant. I love Hitchcock films. I love Night of the Living Dead. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love just about anything Cronenberg did when he was doing those kind of genre films. Alien, I have very eclectic tastes.
The Shining was pretty freaky, that you could call that a horror film because it's really disturbing. I'd say probably The Shining. I also saw one called The Changeling that really freaked me out because it was about, spirits. And when it comes to spirits, I have more of a belief in spirits, or it seems more real.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane is my favorite scary movie.
My favorite scary movie would probably be Rosemary's Baby.
Definitely Psycho.
Friday the 13th, the original. And I remember going with my friends, and I just thought, oh my God. It was great. It was quite the ride.
Salem's Lot.
Straw Dogs, I thought was, a Clockwork Orange, that kind of scary movie, not as intense as Wes's, a different kind of scary movie.
I like old movies like Gaslight, things like that. I find those more like the psychological thrillers, like kind of more terrifying.
A long time ago, and I'm dating myself, but there was a film, I think with Vincent Price, called 13 Ghosts, and that was scary.
Terror Train scared the hell out of me. Clown masks coming at me with a knife.
I just remember being just terrified by just movies like The Birds or, Exorcist, things like that.
The movie that I remember upsetting me the most was The Exorcist, I think. I'm not a smoker, but I remember I smoked 7 cigarettes in a row when I watched that movie and threw up immediately afterwards.
Probably one of the greatest impact, which is kind of cool with this, was Halloween. Seeing some of the scenes cut together here, I can remember, being in high school and going to see that movie and the impact, that just sitting on the edge of my seat. And that's why you wanted to take girls to those kind of movies, because I can just imagine, my teenage equal nowadays, get her and she gets real scared and she might want to hold hands, and all that stuff, and they get scared. That's another reason I like those scary movies.
Burnt Offerings, I still think about the color of that swimming pool when that little boy was under there and that man was getting killed. It just gives me shivers. Ooh.
Nightmare on Elm Street, probably. I don't want to push it, but...
I watched Halloween when I was 10 years old, and it was the scariest movie I ever saw in my life. In fact, it's my favorite movie of all time. And it is the movie that is responsible for me being in the business of writing and being in the whole movie industry. So, for most people, it's Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia, but for me, it's Halloween.